Thank you very much, Mr Stringer, and it's a pleasure to serve under your chairmanship. And can I congratulate my honourable friend, the member for Harlow, on securing such an important debate on pelvic mesh and the Independent Medicines and Medical Devices Safety Review, also referred to as the Cumberledge Review. And we are all privileged to see the noble lady Baroness Cumberledge in the gallery, and we thank her sincerely for the work that she has done over a number of years on the issues around women's health and on this in particular. And I'd also like to thank my honourable friend for the opportunity to be able to contribute on this vital debate. Now, I am responding on behalf of Baroness Merron, who leads on women's health and patient safety in the Department of Health and Social Care. I will try and answer as many of the issues that honourable and right honourable members have put to this debate, but if for whatever reason I don't get round to it, I will ensure that my noble friend Baroness Merron, as the Minister responsible, writes to members. Now, this debate came about through a meeting between the honourable friend for Harlow and one of his constituents, Debbie, and as we've heard in the course of this debate, she described undergoing a failed procedure to remove vaginal mesh, which has caused her severe pain. However, since the operation, she's remained in constant pain, and I want to express my deepest sympathy to Debbie for her ongoing experience. It should not ever have happened. And I want to take this opportunity, Mr Stringer, to place on record that as we are a new government, my predecessor as the Minister responsible in 2020, Nadine Dorries, placed on record the previous government's apology, and I want to make the same apology on behalf of His Majesty's government that was elected on the 4th of July. This should not have happened, and to every single person it has happened to, we are sorry, and we have a duty to put it right, and that's what this government will seek to do, and seek to do at pace. Mr Stringer, this government will build a system that listens, hears and acts with speed, with compassion and with proportionality. Complications from vaginal mesh can be devastating and have included severe and chronic pain, recurrent infections, reduced mobility, sexual difficulties and psychological impacts. It can be hard to imagine the avoidable suffering that many women have endured and the damage inflicted on their lives. It is unacceptable that concerns raised by women were not listened to and that women were left to suffer alone. It is vital that we acknowledge these failures and ensure that the mistakes of the past are not repeated. I want to assure my honourable friend, the member for Wetherby and Easingwold, that the 10-year health plan that this government is consulting on now will ensure a better health service for everyone, regardless of condition or service area, and a core part of the development of the 10-year plan, including its approach to women's health, will be an extensive engagement exercise with the public, with NHS staff and with stakeholders. We've heard about the established 9 specialist mesh centres across England that NHS England has established, and the intention of those is that every woman affected in every region who experience complications receives the appropriate support. I hear the message of my honourable friend, the member for Shipley. More needs to be done on accessibility, on outcomes, on listening to women, and I agree, and I will take her call back to Baroness Merron. I share my honourable friend, the member for Wetherby and Easingwold's concerns. I thank him for his support on this, for the battles and challenges that lie ahead to get this system right. And the government will look at how we build on the provision that is there in a sensitive way that meets the needs of the women, because at the heart of all we do in trying to put this right, it is the needs of the women and their families that have been so dramatically affected by what went so tragically wrong. Now, each mesh centre is led by a multidisciplinary team which is comprised of urology, gynaecology and colorectal consultant, in addition to specialist nurses on a whole range of things that I'm unable to pronounce, and urology and incontinence, which I can pronounce. Patients also have access to other healthcare professionals, including psychologists, occupational therapists and pelvic floor specialists to help with pain management. Now, I recognise the trauma that women have experienced and the vital need to exercise patient choice. And this is especially true for women who are concerned, rightly, about being treated by a surgeon who previously operated on them. Now, I hope things have moved on from the answer the Right Honourable Gentleman for New Forest East set out, but I will ensure that this is communicated back to Baroness Merron with the sincerity but strength of feeling that has been put forward by members today, because I agree with him that the process set out in the written ministerial answer to the Right Honourable Gentleman is not acceptable. Yes, women have the right to choose treatment from another surgeon, but I actually agree with the Shadow Minister. It should be automatically assumed, I feel, that women should have their treatment done by somebody who didn't operate on them, unless that woman doesn't mind. But for many women, that is a stress and a trauma too many, and we have to think about the rights of the women concerned. I also want to recognise that there is a need to support GPs in their knowledge and understanding of pelvic mesh, so that they can identify the symptoms of mesh complications and refer patients onto the appropriate services. I don't want any woman to be in the position of my honourable friend, the member for Gateshead and Washington South, I think it is now, or any other woman who have had their bodies tampered with in the most inappropriate way, where that procedure wasn't even necessary, and having lifelong complications as a result of it. We have to move on, and move on pace. Following the recommendations from Baroness Cumberledge in 2018, the national pause on mesh remains in place for the use of vaginally inserted mesh to treat prolapse, and the use of retropubic suburethral mesh sling to treat stress urinary incontinence. This means that mesh can only be used in exceptional cases where clinicians are of the opinion that there is a clinical urgency and that no suitable alternative exists. NHS England continues to monitor progress on the conditions associated with the pause, and they will only make changes to the national pause linked to clinical advice and following consultation with a wide range of stakeholders, including patients, professional bodies and NHS organisations. The Cumberledge Review made 9 recommendations, of which the then government accepted 7. Of those 7, 4 have been delivered, namely the appointment of Dr Henrietta Hughes as the first Patient Safety Commissioner in England, the establishment of 9 specialist mesh centres across England, and the establishment of a patient reference group. Through its ongoing work, the government is committed to delivering on the remaining 3 recommendations. On redress, I will address briefly the recommendations set out in the Hughes report, which was published in February. First, I would like to take this opportunity to thank the Patient Safety Commissioner, Dr Henrietta Hughes, for her commitment to improving patient safety. Whilst the Government is not yet in a position to comment on the recommendations, I want to assure members it is considering the wide range of work set out in the report, and I agree with the Honourable Member for Eastleigh. That the previous Government has been too slow on this, and it is a priority for this Government. We're working at pace. We remain focused on making meaningful progress. It is a complex area of work involving several departments, but we are committed to providing an update at the earliest opportunity, and having heard the desire for urgency today, I hope we can make the progress members want to see. It gives the Honourable Gentleman 30 seconds, I'm afraid, but I hope we've made some progress.